This is TechCrunch. Matt Rogers, who is the CEO and the co-founder of startup Mill, says that the company may have started with households, but he says that the food waste startup has long aspired to expand to commercial customers. He recently told TechCrunch, "This has been part of our plan since our Series A deck. Now, with an official deal locked in with Amazon and Whole Foods, the company's plan to profit from handling other people's food waste is a bit more public. Whole Foods will deploy a commercial scale version of Mill's food waste bin in each of its grocery stores beginning in 2027. The bins will grind and dehydrate waste from the produce department, reducing costly landfill fees while also providing feed for the company's egg producers. This both trims the company's overhead and lowers its ecological footprint. Now, at the same time, Mill's bins will collect data to help Whole Foods understand what gets wasted and why, helping the grocer further control costs." Rogers said, "Ultimately, our goal is not just to make their waste operations more efficient, but also to move upstream so they actually waste less food." The company started selling food waste bins to households a few years ago. As can be expected from a team that made the Nest thermostat, the devices are well designed, and to lean on a Silicon Valley cliche, they can be a delight to use. Rogers said that starting in consumer was very intentional because, well, you build the proof points, you build the data, the brand, the loyalty. Many members of the Whole Foods team were already familiar with Mill when the two companies started talking. Rogers says it's kind of the company's enterprise sales strategy. They have conversations with senior leadership when they're in talks with ideal customers. And if their senior leadership has not heard of Mill yet or they haven't tried it, they say, "Well, why don't you give it a try and see what your family thinks?" And the company has found out that it is a surefire way of getting folks excited about the product. The startup began having conversations with Whole Foods about a year ago. In the ensuing months, Mill demonstrated the consumer version in some of the chain's grocery stores. Mill has also developed an AI that uses a range of sensors to determine whether food that enters the bin should still be on the shelf. Minimizing shrink, which is the industry's term for sales lost through waste or theft, can give grocers an edge in a cutthroat market. Advances in large language models have been key. When Rogers and Mill co-founder Harry Tannenbaum were at Nest, it took dozens of engineers and a Google budget more than a year to train Nest cameras to recognize people and packages. With new learning language models, well, Mill only needed a handful of engineers and far less time to deliver superior results. That's according to Rogers, who also said that AI has been a huge enabler. The use of AI allowed Mill to deliver a commercial version faster, diversifying its customer base and source of revenue. Rogers said that if you are a single channel, single customer business, you are fragile. He said that he grew up at Apple during the iPod era, and Apple at the time was a single leg business. iPod was like 70% of company revenue. Now, this was why we did the iPhone. Steve Jobs pushed us really hard on the iPhone because he was worried that folks like Motorola, who were working on smartphones at the time, would start to eat our lunch on the iPod business and that would crush us. We needed to build another leg of the stool. And it seems that Mill is not finished adding legs to its figurative stool. Rogers said the company is working on building out a municipal business as well. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like this one, go to TechCrunch.com.